And I just got the notification that we are live.
Perfect.
And we have a few people on, so when you jump on, please say
Oh,
hi.
hi everyone. Hello. Welcome.
What up,
Welcome.
queens? That's what somebody said. Hello,
What up,
Megan.
queens? All right, we're just gonna get started, even though it's only 2:59. It's about to be 3:00, but it looks like you guys are ready to go.
Perfect.
So we have a really, really cool presentation for you today. Really cool things to bring to you, and just innovative stuff, like things that we believe that you guys have not seen before, and you probably haven't. If you have, it was probably done by Allie. So that's the cool part. But we're really today, what we're going to do is talk about the different possibilities, what's actually possible for you going into 2024 with all of the technology and the advancements and, all of that stuff. We have to be creative and innovative moving into this space now. This year alone, I feel like this year has been probably the fastest that I've seen advancements happen, not only on the technology side with AI and all of that stuff, but also just with the pace of online business and people. Like, things are just happening so quickly. Things are just shifting so fast. The way people buy, the way people market, the way people are presenting themselves online. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve, that's why we brought you guys in here into this group, because we are going to share that with you. Like, I am not the type of person who sugarcoats things, but I really do believe, like, if you are going to continue to do the things that worked in 2022, 2021, 2020, like, you're not going to make it, because you're just going to be like, people are literally going to scroll right by you, because you have to have something that's actually going to capture people's attention. And that is what we're going to show you over the next 3 days. Today, Allie's going to pretty much present what she has going on and all of the cool, juicy stuff that's going on. So guys that are here, comment and let us know who's here. Let's see, let's get some comments on the board. So who's here and where are you from? I always love. Oh, that's what Megan was saying. What up, queens?
Yeah.
I totally missed that. I was like, there's a little delay.
Olga says
All
hi.
right. So also, if you guys have not put in your business into the lead magnet ideas, make sure that you do that over the next couple of days. We're going to be helping you with ideas through Friday, correct? So yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to be helping you guys with that. So let me see here. Let me refresh really quickly. Olga's here. She says hello. All right.
Cool. Yeah, make sure to post your business on that thread, because like one of my favorite things to do is come up with really creative lead magnets that get people's attention. And you'll see once we like get into the things, a huge like aspect of what we're doing is to market to people so they don't feel like they're being marketed to, and it just makes it really easy for people to come into your world. And so we're going to give you some ideas on how to do that, because when it's fun, it's a vibe, like it's good for everybody. It's good for your customers, it's good for you. It's just so much fun.
I think that's a really important distinction that you said, like, because of the way the online world is like moving rapidly, like people are getting smarter, right? They're getting to the point where it's like, oh, okay, like
they know what they're being sold to.
Like, I know this is an ad, I know this is a promotion, right? So how do you cut through that noise so that way your promotions and your ads and the things that you're putting out there to get people to buy or give you their email address is just like, it's an experience and it's just part of the fun, versus like, oh, I'm being sold to. Right. So I love that you make that distinction there, Allie.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Kate here. Kate's
and we
here
have,
as well.
Yep. Megan says hi from Idaho. I don't think I have it on my profile, but I'm in Portland, Oregon. So we're literally like opposite ends of the United States right now, because Jenna's in Florida.
Oh, we are literally like on opposite
ends.
ends.
Like literally.
Literally the furthest apart that you could be, we are,
Yeah.
but we are very close. So go figure. All right, ladies. So let's
Cool.
get started. We're going to do a little presentation and then we're going to go from there. We're going to, if you have any questions, like you can just type them in the chat. I'll be paying attention to the chat. So anything that comes up as we are presenting or as I was presenting, oops. Just want to make sure I can see the comments here. Okay, perfect. All right, you guys see the slides?
Yeah, I'll wait till I see. Oh, there it goes. Cool, cool. San
Yeah, there's
Diego,
like a little tiny
California.
bullet.
That's where Olga's from.
I love San
All right.
Diego.
I don't think I've
Chelsea
ever
just
been.
popped on as well. What?
Just popping on to see your
Oh, girl,
gorgeous faces.
you
I've
missing
been
out.
like probably through because I've driven down to like San Jose, but I don't know. I didn't stop there. Just popping in to see your gorgeous faces. Hi, Chelsea. Cool, cool. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. Well, actually, Jenna, I'll have you introduce yourself, and then I'll introduce myself, and then go from there. But what's really cool about the Money Portal is this is going to be your cure for basic bitch marketing. And what I love about this is it's not like anything you've seen before, because a lot of the front end things that you're going to see in the marketing process, I've created personally myself. And so, like tomorrow we'll show you like really good examples of this too, like the difference between basic versus bougie versions of some of the things we're going to talk about. But oh, Chelsea's coming to Florida next year, so get ready. She's in Palm
I don't know if
Springs.
I'll be here, but we'll see. I'm a nomad now, so who knows? Who knows where I shall be?
Yep. But anyways, with the Money Portal, the reason we call it Money Portal is because when you implement this strategy that we're going to share with you, it literally brings everything that you're doing together. So a lot of people are like, oh, I have to learn a new marketing thing. It's not quite like that. It's going to take everything that you're already doing and button it up into this beautiful system that's going to work for you 24/7. And it's really freaking awesome. So, oops. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself,
Oh, it's
Jenna, for people who don't know you.
It's me. So I'm going to bypass reading my bio. But I'm Jenna Faith, aka Jen Scalia, used to be Jen Scalia, and I created Meant for Millions as a way to help other women like me, single moms, any mom, doesn't matter, single woman, you don't have to be a mom, but any woman, let's just stare there, to create wealth and freedom with an online business. I have been doing marketing for 15 plus years, just online, about 11, it'll be 11 years in February. Can you believe it? I have worked with thousands of clients, have generated multiple millions of dollars in sales for my courses, my coaching, all of those amazing things. And I have a focus on a lot of different things, but I feel like most recently what I am really wanting to streamline in is a lot of the stuff we're doing in the Money Portal, which is mindset, visibility, audience growth, and of course, email marketing magic, because I really feel that, that's a piece that where a lot of people leave money on the table. So that is Jenna. For those of you guys who don't know me, let's introduce Allie, my biz partner in crime.
All right, I'm Allie. So I've been in the online space for a little over 10 years. I feel next, like right at the beginning, I think like January, February, it'll be 11 years too. So I've been doing this for a really long time. And how I actually got started in digital marketing is because I actually owned brick and mortar businesses. I had a coffee shop, flower shop, bistro, and I was in a really small town. But in the area that we were in, we needed people like didn't drive by us, they couldn't find us. And so I started learning about ads so I could get the word out about what my family and I were doing. This is a family-owned business. And then I was also at the time, which is so cringe, I saw some of my old stuff recently, I was a food coach. And so I was like, okay, how do I learn how to market myself online so I can make online sales? Because I loved the idea of passive income. Because like Jenna, I'm also a single mom, and I wanted to be able to have a little bit more time freedom. So I sold my shares, left the family business, and moved to just strictly online marketing. And I did advertising for quite a while. And then I discovered this really cool tool, which we're going to talk to you about for the next 3 days, that just amplified everything that I was already doing. And my whole shtick is I like to do things in my own way. I have always been like anti-bro marketing when they're like, oh, you'll have to do it this way. I was like, well, that doesn't seem very fun for me or anybody else. So I'm going to do it in my own way. And then everything that I try, it just sticks because I feel like the energetics of the fun vibe and like giving people value and treating people like the gold that they are, they're like, oh, I feel good interacting with this brand. So it makes it easier to invest with them. So that's how I've been teaching people how to do businesses and marketing online for, yeah, it's almost 11 years now. It's so crazy. Like time flies by. But yeah, I saw a huge need to service clients this way, especially women in business, because I feel like a lot of the strategies that are taught to us are very like mostly masculine, but there is like a balance between both energies. And when you have both, it does so much for business. So, all right, let's talk about if social media feels like this to you. So you spend hours agonizing over what and when to post. And I know these because I do this as well. So I'm in the same boat as you guys. If it feels like a waste of time to post, but you know it's something that you need to do because everyone says, you know, you need to be posting online. It's true, you do. But we're going to show you how to work smart, not hard. If you put a lot of effort into your content and you want to maximize those results. So if you like spend a lot of energy learning how to do reels, how to make posts, carousels, you know, all those things, we're going to show you how to maximize those. But maybe your DMs are drier than the Sahara Desert, or you're on the opposite end, you're swamped with DMs and you can't get to all of them fast enough. We're going to help you end the love-hate relationship with social media. Oh, I always, when I'm presenting with Canva, I always use my computer and I have to click on the screen to go to the next slide. But this is why you need a money portal. And I can't wait to show you guys how this works. But before we get into that, so the reason that you need a money portal is, and this will all make sense to you conceptually, like once we go through examples today and tomorrow, but this allows you to never miss a lead. So optimizes every single point of entry on like Instagram and Facebook where someone will come to your brand. We're going to maximize every single possible place that they will enter into your brand universe so you don't miss a lead. It also amplifies your income producing activities, which is what we'll be talking a little bit about today. You already have to do those things in your business. You might as well get the most out of it. And what I think probably my most favorite thing, honestly, is the incredibly high conversion rates. Because of the way that we're delivering content to people, they have upwards of like 90 to like 98% conversion rates. But what's cool is we're also going to support it with email, but because we're going to get so many people in on the front end, we're going to get more people into your emails using this system, but they have incredibly high click-through rates. And when you do this, this will help you make sales every day because it's a system where you can set it and forget it. So if you're someone who only likes to post, you know, a few times a week, a few reels a week, or maybe you run ads because you don't like doing organic content, which is what I did for a really long time, then this is going to support you no matter what. So you set it and just let it do the work for you, which I love. So, okay, if your goal here, like everyone, I'm assuming, is the dollar bills in the bank account, this is what you need to know. So if you're not already familiar with this concept, this is what I feel like a lot of like the big coaches gatekeep. And what they're doing is they're teaching you the strategy to support you with your income producing activities. So once you have your energetics aligned and you're like, oh, okay, I know like that I can do this, and then you add the things that you should be doing with your business, that's when people get that explosive income, like next level jump or quantum leap or whatever, because they're like, oh, I knew I could do it. I just needed support in that area. And so, but you'll get in, learn the energetics, and then they're like, oh, and this is what you need to do every week. So this is a little bit of high level coaching as well. So if you want the money in the bank to get more money, you need to invite people to your sales environment. So we all know this. We need landing pages. If you're someone who likes to do sales calls, the sales calls is part of your landing page or part of your sales environment. So you have to have a way for people to pay you to get the money in the bank. And to get people into your sales environment, you need traffic. You just need a lot of people to come into your sales environment. And so the way that we do this is with lead magnet experiences. social quizzes, and then we support it with email campaigns and follow up with email courses or I mean, mini courses. This is the new way to nurture. Nobody's doing this yet, and I can't wait to show you guys this. But to get people into those things, we need to have, oops, I went backwards. We need to have top of funnel content. So social media, like the love-hate relationship that you may or may not have with that. So when you're making reels, TikTok stories, Instagram lives, or running ad campaigns, that's how you're going to get people into step 2. But we like to hack the system a little bit. So what's really cool about what we're going to show you is that we're going to take all of your awareness content that you're making on Instagram or your Facebook business page or ad campaigns, and we're going to automate when they interact with you. They're going to immediately be sent into the nurture automated experiences. So we're going to build a relationship with them. It's like next level too. We're not talking like basic stuff. It's like next level things. But we're going to automate every single step so that all you have to do is focus on the awareness content and let the funnel automations from your awareness content support you all the way through to the conversion or the sales page. And that's how you're going to make more money. And what's cool is once this is set up, it'll just continue to work for you. And then you can continue to focus on building awareness. But if you focus on these things throughout, like each week, you will just automatically make more money because you're going to get seen by more people, you're going to nurture more people, and you're going to make more money. So that is how we're going to use this system to support us in the things that we're already doing in our business. But this is the journey of a money portal. So we've kind of teased a little bit in the group what we're doing. We're going to make a post after this where you can go experience this yourselves. But essentially what happens is you're going to use the content you're already making and they're going to become DM funnels. And you may have seen this already. I noticed that a lot of larger creators are starting to do this. But if you've ever commented on, say, an Instagram reel, and they're like, hey guys, comment a keyword to get something. That is what this is. So we're going to automate the process of getting someone into your DMs. And what's really cool about this is people don't have to leave the platform to do this. So they can continue to be nurtured in your brand experience without ever leaving the platform. And that's why they have such high conversion rates. Because when you ask people to click the link in bio, or maybe they DM you, but you don't have enough time to get back to everybody, that's where you start to lose people. So if it takes time for you to get back to somebody, or they have to do a couple of additional steps or even leave the platform, there's a percentage of people that are going to drop off. And so we're capturing those people and getting them into your brand universe. So once they interact with your ads, your socials, we'll nurture them in the DMs. And we're also going to capture their email address, which is critical. But what's cool, again, I love this because the old way is to use landing pages, which you can still do. There's nothing wrong with those. But to grab someone's email address inside of a DM conversation is like literally a half second and they're on your list. It's so easy. And then by doing this, we'll be increasing traffic to the things that you're already doing because they're automatically going to get that information sent to them. And what's cool is we're going to teach you guys how to use Trendsetter Vibes to understand how to leverage topics in your niche to get attention on short form video and get more people into your DMs. This is something that we'll be focusing more on at the end of the week, how you can get this as well. Same with number 5, to amplify. So as someone comes through, what's really cool is there is some amazing ways that you can take your organic content that performs really well and turn it into really high converting ads. And again, like I've been in the ad space for a long time, and as technical as you can go, I still I'd love to work smart, not hard. So the strategies that I use, I like to make them simple and simplified, because oftentimes if I have clients come in and I set their things up, I need them to also be able to, oh, sorry, I clicked on my phone, to be able to recreate those systems if I'm not there working with them. So work smart, not hard. No matter what we're doing, organic or paid traffic, this system is going to fully support you from start to finish, and people think it's such a vibe. So these are just some of the results that I've had from using this system with my clients. I'll go through each one. But with my client Ingrid, in 30 days, there's some case studies on this too, we'll post eventually. But using the system, I was able to increase her engagement by 325% in 30 days on a dead Instagram account. She had 34,000 followers, but she was getting like 100 to 200 views on her reels, which is crazy. But once we used the DM funnel strategy, paired it with lead magnets and experiences, we got like 1,500 leads, just from a few reels. We got 400 event registrations. It was insane, like the results, just from using the strategy that we're going to talk about today and tomorrow. But this client, I'm trying to think of like how much detail I want to go into. With the instant inbox ad campaign, which is my signature recipe for using the tool that we're using to do the automations with ads, we're able to get 50,000 in sales in just 60 days because it was such a seamless process. It took someone 2 clicks, so I call it the instant inbox ad campaign. 2 clicks in the DMs, they were in a full-on nurture experience, and people just thought it was such a vibe. We totally over-delivered. We made a promise that they would get one thing. They ended up getting other things, and they just thought it was so cool, and it was just a really great way to sell their programs. And then this is my most recent thing. I had so much fun with this client. Her name's Milana, and she had this secret podcast launch that she wanted to do. And so we did a tease for a week on some of her content. She right now is marketing mostly on TikTok and then funnels people over to Instagram to interact with these experiences. And she was like, guys, you can only get this in my stories. Like the only way you're going to get this link is here. So people were waiting. And as soon as she launched it, within 3 days, it was so cool. She had 322 people. I think it was like 326 in the 3 days, but I had only screenshot 322. So staying in alignment with the receipts that I'm bringing. Yeah, we had 322 new leads that they literally replied to a story to get the link and opted in. And I think the conversion rate was like 95%, which is insane. So if you can imagine people getting an email or going to a landing page, getting your emails, and the opt-in rate being like, 10 to 20%. Imagine like if pretty much everyone that interacted with you opted into your thing, you could build your list so fast and scale so fast. And it was just like 3 different stories. It was crazy. So the systems and strategies that we're going to show you are next level. They work amazingly well. And it all has to do with the fact that a lot of it is delivering information to your audience in the exact moment that they want it. So here's an example. I've been playing around with Reels for myself, and I have this really cool guide that I want people to get. And so I used like a trending audio and I said comment guide to see it. So if I didn't have this set up and I had tons of people commenting on my reel, I would spend hours replying to everyone in the comments and in the DMs and double checking to make sure I sent it to everybody. But because I had these automations set up, and people, when they comment guide, they were automatically sent the information in their inbox. And then I automatically am able to reply to them, their comment that they make, to let them know to go check to see that it was sent there. And then they get this fabulous message in the DM with the link to go get the thing. And so I can set this up one time, and maybe my goal is to make a handful of reels each week for my lead magnet. I can just focus on creating my reels or my stories or Instagram Live and know that that's all that I have to focus on, because the system is going to support me for everyone who wants to get my lead magnet. And then I've entered them into my brand universe seamlessly. And it's such a vibe. This is the example of the stories I was just talking about, so I won't go too much into it. But it's just so cool because someone could reply to her story and get the link to her premium podcast, which was so cool. And my favorite example, which is probably what we'll be talking a lot about tomorrow, is quizzes. So I have this signature system for quizzes inside of the DMs, but they do quite a few things. So this is one that I made for Christine Quinn. If you guys are familiar with Selling Sunset, actually, she has her book. I took her quiz from her book, How to Be a Boss Bitch, and turned it into an interactive experience. So if you can imagine turning black and white pages into something like this with video and audio and follow-up, it's so much more fun. And what's cool is I knew I wanted proof of concept, and I actually put my Amazon affiliate link for her book in here, and I've been making commissions off people taking the quiz and going and buying her book, which is so cool. And we've been in contact about, me doing her marketing and stuff, but that's all that I can technically share about that publicly. But she is launching a second book, so it's gonna be really awesome. But within I think maybe an hour of posting this, she was like, "Oh my God, email me. Like, this is incredible. What is this?" And it's so cool because you can go through the quiz. What's cool is as people are clicking buttons, we're learning about them and where they are in their journey for whatever it is that we're creating an experience for. And then at the end, we can follow up with solutions or things that move people into the next step of how we want them to work with us. But people just feel like it's a fun vibe because we're using imagery, fun copy, the automations. It's all just happening for them right inside of the platform. And the reason I like using quizzes specifically is like if you guys are on Facebook and you see those quizzes where you click on it and it'll be like, oh, here's your profile for this thing. Like there was a Barbie one that went around recently. It's like what kind of Barbie are you? And you click on it and you see someone else do it, so you want to do it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm goth Barbie, or whatever pops up. This because people are literally obsessed with themselves, and there's a little bit of psychology at play, and we have a subconscious desire to feel like that we know who we are, we know where we sit in terms of our role in society. And so with a quiz, people just they can't help it. They want to know okay, what is my profile? Where do I belong? And it speaks to that subconscious desire of belonging. And so that's why they pop off so well. And then there's different strategies and things you can use with the quiz to get people to continue to engage with your brand. But they are such a vibe and they are so much fun. And if you want to test this out, we're going to make a post when we're done chatting with you guys here about how to go test some of my favorite quizzes that I've made. And these were all done within the last year. But yeah, we'll show you. So you guys will get to experience what it's like to go to a reel, comment. You guys will comment the word vault, and then you guys will get to test these quizzes out and see what they look like. But yeah, that is how we're going to leverage our awareness content to make really fun interactive experiences to get people in the DMs so we can get their emails, we can follow up with them, and we can create a really vibey, nurturing environment. So this technically would be step 2, which is where we nurture our audience. And as they're clicking buttons, how they say it takes 7 to 12 touch points for someone to get familiar with your brand, we're rapid firing that process because they're constantly clicking a button, and psychologically they're having a conversation with us in the DMs, and we're nurturing them at hyper speed. And so that's why I always default to quizzes or experiences where people can go through and get something very quickly and feel like they've received a lot of value, and they feel close to your brand. It's such a vibe. So that is everything that I have to share in terms of things that we're going to talk about. So I don't know if you want to give your 2 cents, Jenna. I did that really fast.
No, I think it's perfect. And I just I had questions that I think some other people might have. So I actually want to just let's go back and forth and ask the questions, because I feel like other people might have these questions. And if you guys have questions as well, definitely put them in the chat. So there was one thing that I wanted you to touch on as well. You talked a lot about the experience of doing the quiz. Can you talk more about them being in your DM for longer and how that affects the algorithm and that engagement with your audience? Because this is a really important piece too. It's not just about having a beautiful images and experiences, but there's actually a strategy to it. There's a reason that we're doing that.
Yeah, so I can't remember when the CEO of Instagram posted about this, but I always had a suspicion that this was true. But if people so that if you have engagement on your Instagram, your content's going to get pushed out to more people. But this does 2 things. So we want people to get into our experiences. So we're going to specifically tell them, comment a word to get this thing. What Instagram doesn't know is that when people are commenting, it's because we told them to, but the reason more people are going to comment is because they know on the other side of that comment, they're going to get something. So it increases the likelihood that someone's going to interact with us. And what happens is Instagram just sees, wow, this reel is getting a lot of engagement. Then our little system that we're using also automatically replies to their comment. So it's like, wow, these people comment really fast. So we're going to push this again out to more people. But the CEO of Instagram said that one of the ways to get more people into your account is that if you're having interactions inside of the DMs. So if you're having a lot of conversations, Instagram, the algorithm also sees that as engagement and will push out more content. So we're literally, when I say leveraging every single like nook and cranny and aspect of what you're doing, it's like every single little thing like adds up to get your content out, pushed out to more people. And that's why the engagement part is so important inside of the DM. So the way that we'll systemize it too is we make it seamless for someone to come in and create what I like to call the path of least resistance. So it's really easy for someone to come in, first of all, into the experience, and then second, to interact in the experience. If we make it hard for somebody or they have to like jump through hoops, like people are just gonna be like, whatever, screw this, I don't want to do this. But when people are just like, oh, I can just come in here, and they're like, oh, clicking through things and like, oh, I got this free thing, and they're like, oh wow, this is so nice. And then I also have like a little strategy for which I'll probably share tomorrow, where once they finish an experience, they can move on to the next very effortlessly with a system I call meta menus. And so it's just like, if you can imagine creating bingeable content inside of the DMs, that's literally what we're doing. And if they never have to leave the platform, it is so nice, because if someone does leave the platform, we're going to lose them because they might accidentally swipe off our profile or they go somewhere else or whatever it is. But literally all of that will be waiting for them in the DM. So if they don't take action in that moment, we can automatically follow up with them. Or if they remember, oh yeah, I was going to do that thing, they know exactly where to find it. Does that
Yeah, I
cover
love that.
everything that you were thinking?
Yeah, and it's about having a strategy in place. Like if you're going to be creating content, because what I see is so many people creating content with no strategy. They're posting just to post. They're putting stuff out there because, like you said, somebody told them they should post, and they should, of course. But without a strategy behind it, it's like, this is why you're getting crickets on your post. This is why, it's actually not getting anywhere. This is why you have the same people that are just basically cheerleaders at this point, that are liking your post, but they're not buyers, right? So having the strategy is what's going to turn somebody from, like, even if they just found out about your brand, like, and that's kind of the mindset that I want you guys to have as well. I feel like a lot of times we have this mindset of like, oh, people already know me, or people already interacted with my brand. Like, think about a brand new person that has never experienced you before. It's just coming across your brand. Like, what is the experience you want them to have? What is the initial feeling that you want them to feel? What is that first impression that you want these people to have? And that's really how you should be creating your content. You shouldn't be creating your content for the 12 people that like your post all the time but are never going to buy from you, right? So it's really about having that strategy and creating what Ali calls bougie marketing, right? Something that just looks good, it feels high end, it feels put together, rather than just a bunch of random stuff that isn't actually leading anywhere. And then allowing people to drop off, which is something we're going to talk about tomorrow. But not having that follow-up, right? So they see your piece of content, and then what? They like it, and then what? They never see it again. They never see you again, right? So how do you create an experience where they connect with your brand, and then you're able to actually have it so they get to connect again and again and again and again and have those experiences? So what would you say for somebody what if somebody's like, oh, I'm not ready for this? Or thinks that, okay, my business has to be at a certain place in order for this to work for me?
I would say like this, the way that this is set up, I feel like there's going to be a point in time where this is going to be foundational, where everyone's going to be using this. And if you're not using this, people, it's not like, I don't like using like pain points, but like there is going to be a point in time where a lot of people are going to be using these strategies. We're just the first ones to be doing it. And so if you're not using this, I would say not like you'll get left behind, but I mean, you'll get left behind.
You'll get left behind.
Like,
No, I think, I'm a little bit more on the like, just be real part of it, but you will, right? So if you're just like, hey, go to the link in my profile, and then somebody goes to a landing page and then they click, like, there has to be a system, there has to be structure in your business. And I know, especially in the female coaching space, there's a lot of just like ease and flow and manifest this, and which is all well and good. I'm all about manifesting. I'm an amazing manifester. However, I also know that there's parts and pieces and systems and structures that need to be put in place to ensure that I'm making money in my business, right? Because if I'm not making money in my business, then I don't have a business, right? And how do we make money in our business is by bringing more people into our business. We need to create that awareness that we talked about. That was step one. And then we need to get people from, oh, this brand is pretty cool, I like what they're posting, to I'm ready to buy, right? And that's what the money portal does. It takes them literally from finding out about you, or maybe they already know about you but didn't think you were that cool. And now it's like, okay, I really want what this person is putting out there, right? And a lot of times people just don't have that system in place, or they're all over the place, or it's disorganized. And so that's, the roadmap that we showed is what's going to take them from that first awareness piece to pulling out their credit cards to buy your course or your book or whatever it is you have going on.
yeah, and I'll tell you guys a story too. So, I know we're both huge into manifesting, and we're both manifesting generators, so it's pretty cool. Powerhouse of ideas. But if you're someone who loves energetics and you manifest going viral, which I did this, but you don't have a system to support you, you're kind of screwed, because if you have like thousands of people commenting on your post, and like if you were even to like try and catch up with everybody, like there's just no way that you could do that in a very quick time versus having something set up to send things out to your people instantly. And what I did is I had a reel go viral, has like 46,000 something views since the last time I checked. What happened was Christine Quinn, she saw my quiz, she shared one of my reels to her stories, but she shared the wrong reel, so I had the wrong audience, like looking like her audience wouldn't be my ideal audience anyways. But it went totally viral. But then what happened is I shared that I was working with her, and then I got an influx of leads, and for a whole week I was like, my central nervous system like could not handle it, because I just wasn't prepared. I didn't have an application form, I didn't have a way to like sort and funnel out my people, and I essentially went viral and I couldn't do anything with it. And what ended up happening was I had a lot of leads that weren't really a good fit for my business, but because I didn't have that system to support me, it just took so much effort to catch up. And then I was like, I'm really good at manifesting. I was like, I'm gonna manifest going viral, and like 3 reels later, like within a couple days, I went viral. But it didn't, like, I wasn't like ready for it with my own strategy, which is crazy because this is what I teach my clients and implement for my clients. But because I didn't have that one piece, I was like screwed basically. You never know when you're gonna pop off on social media. And so it's like, if you have these things in place, like you were saying the question, like, well, what if you're just not like sure if you're ready for this? Like, just if you're in the mindset of there will be a time when it is my time and my stuff's gonna go viral, I'm gonna reach a lot of people. Or even if you don't totally go viral, but you get like, I mean, even 50 people commenting on a reel is like, that's gonna take you a couple hours to like catch up with everybody, instead of having something available to them to go out to them instantly, and then a nurturing experience, so then all you have to do is follow up. Yeah, it's just such a good way to support your energetics with this strategy.
Yeah, and I think, it's also about like how are you playing going into 2024? Are you going to continue to play small? Are you going to be like, okay, do you want to continue to have 5 people in your program? Or are you like, no, I want 20 people in my program. I want 50 people in my program. I want 100 people in my program. Then it's a complete mindset shift into stepping into that, even if you're not seeing those results now. So even if you feel like my posts don't get a lot of views, or my posts don't get a lot of likes, or my reels don't get a lot of views, like being prepared for that, like actually setting yourself up and visualizing, like Ali did, right? Going viral, and maybe it's not going viral, but it's like, no, my next program is going to be the one that sells out, or my posts are going to go from having 12 likes to 120 likes to 1,000 likes, right? And like putting yourself in that position for that to happen, and then having the system to back you up. That's what we are encouraging you to put into place in your business, so that way, because I really feel, I actually just had a call with a client yesterday, and she wants like, this sold out program, and I think she wants like 30 people. And I said, okay, well, if all 30 people said yes today,
Are you ready?
like, are you ready for it? And she was like, no. So it's like, be ready for that. Absolutely. Like, have the things in place. The automation is like, like I said, I know it's kind of like feels masculine maybe to like be automated and things like that, and people feel like it's not a personal type, experience. But we're going to show you how you can have those pieces in place that you absolutely need, and it will support that ease and flow, and it will support your energetics, and it will support the things you do. A lot of the people that I work with are in the spiritual space, so a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs tend to be my clients, and I think they are like kind of attracted to me because I am a little bit more masculine when it comes to like the systems and putting things together. But it's like that combination of like, you're a little bit more ethereal, you're a little bit more like going with the flow, and things are just coming to you when you're manifesting and all of that stuff, but with that powerhouse of, I actually have something in place in my business. Like, that's the power combo that you need.
Yeah.
And it actually will support you in being more in flow by having that in your toolbox.
Yeah, I love that too. And one of the other things is, it's so funny because a lot of my clients call me the bougie marketer, because when they go through an experience or I create one for them, people are like, I didn't even know that you could do this. Or a lot of people don't even, they just see what other people and other coaches are doing with, ads and landing pages and, email follow-up. They don't even know that like you have permission to have like the full embodiment of your personality online, which is what I like to do. And so I get told a lot like, oh my gosh, this is such a vibe. I didn't know you could like use naughty emojis or like, say these things inside of an experience where it's like, I feel like even though it's automated, I'm interacting with your brand, your personality, and or whatever your business's personality or alter ego is. Like mine, even though I'm a chill Taurus, my business is Rich Bitch Society. And so like online, I want everyone to be a rich bitch, but I would never like, no one would ever call me a bitch in person. Those like an extension of like my business is like an extension, my alter ego of like what I like to do online. And so that it like encapsulates that in a way. And when people experience that vibe, even if it's automated, people feel that energy. Just like when you write a fantastic like post or reel and people are like, oh, I could feel the energy in that. It's the same thing. And so we'll teach you how to package that energy up. And so you have the energetics and the strategy to just freaking explode your business online. And it's crazy because it doesn't even take a lot of people to go through something to get them to the other side. And so when you get a taste of that, you'd be like, oh, I want more people to be going into this thing. It's really cool.
Yeah. I love that you were talking about that, like the alter ego and stuff, because it's the personal brand is essentially what it is. And I feel that going into 2024, everybody is a personal brand, whether you have a business, like a business name, a business entity, if you're an author, like no matter what, even people that own companies, like huge companies, they still have a personal brand. Like that's the wave right now. It's like, so how do you get that out there when there's literally probably billions of people all fighting, for that space in the newsfeed and the algorithm? And how do you beat that algorithm? Or as Ali says, make the algorithm your bitch, right? So that way you don't have to, and that can be done in multiple different ways. If you're more of the organic person or you just don't have the capital to invest in ads yet, like we'll show you how to take those pieces of content and maximize them. Or if you're just like, you know what, like I love the system and I'm throwing money onto it right now with advertising, then you can get there even faster. So either way works, whether it's organic or whether you are doing advertising. But the most important piece is just the actual system that we just showed you.
Yeah, I think, and too, like with the path of least resistance, I mean, it's something that we use in manifesting too, like the energetics of getting somewhere quicker. So if you have this system to support you and, you are manifesting that, like the easiest way to make more money is to make it easy for people to pay you. So if like you have more people coming into that sales environment, then your numbers are automatically going to increase. And then with like your income producing activities, if you're like, okay, this reel or whatever got X amount of people who commented, who landed in my nurture experience, who purchased, because you can track each of those things all the way through. Then you're like, okay, I just need to make more of these reels, and I'm going to increase the amount of people that are in step 2 and step 3, and that's where you make more money, because then you can see where people came through in the steps of, you know, what you're doing. So it's like, I feel like people make marketing really difficult or confusing, or they gatekeep and they're like, I'm only going to tell you if you spend thousands of dollars with me. But that's really the secret sauce, is knowing how much you need to make of each thing to make your goals and your numbers financially. And then just doing more of that. So yeah.
Love it. All right, what do you guys think? I don't see any comments here. What do you guys think? Chelsea says it's such a fun concept. We want to hear what you're thinking. What questions do you have? Do you feel like this could work for you? I mean, obviously we feel like it can work for everybody, but you know, I know from a mindset standpoint, a lot of people just are not even thinking at that level, right? So like what we're presenting today is like, it's very high level stuff. You know, it's very like, you want to be legit, legitimate business that has these things in place, all those people you look up to, all the lead magnets that you download, all the people who you're always commenting on their stuff and they're like, this is great, this is great. Like Ali says, they're gatekeeping what they're actually doing on the back end to make all of that possible, right? To have all of these reels go viral or have all of these people into their programs, right? Like, what is the difference between you and, let's say, like Amy Porterfield that has 4,000 people in her group program? Like, what is she doing that you're not doing, right? Like, we want to give you that system because we just gave it to you. Actually.
I'll even tell you too, like some of the things on like my client results that I shared earlier too, those were just a handful. Those were all organic. Like there was, well, I mean, I guess the instant inbox ad campaign was an ad campaign, but the other two, it's organic traffic, which is so cool. But what I love about this is essentially, okay, so I'll give you a little marketing tea, because my thing is I can't stand when people gatekeep, or like they say you can only get this if you pay me. I'll just literally like tell you the tea. So I manifested when COVID hit. I was selling online courses in a really specific niche and doing really well, and I decided to pivot. I pivoted, and then COVID happened. I was like, well, I'm screwed. And so what I ended up doing was I was like, okay, I'm going to manifest working with some big clients that I had like on my vision board. And I did. I ended up working with some of these multi-million-dollar brands because I really wanted to see the behind the scenes of the business. I had done that in brick and mortar businesses, and I knew it was going to be a lot different, like hiring, managing teams, systems, all those things. But I really wanted to see how the big players were doing it. And it wasn't anything different than I was already doing. The only difference was, one, they had the confidence and audacity to show up consistently. And the only thing between me and them was that they were consistently showing up and owning what they had to say. And then they had systems in place. That's it. That was the only thing. I was like, oh my gosh, of course. Like, so it was really cool because I got paid to learn those things. But at the same time, I was just like, everyone needs to know about this. And what people were paying was to learn that they had either teams, they were either paying people for teams. So the money was either going there or it was allocating funds to systems. And I think like a combination of a little bit of both is a really good sweet spot. But if you can have a system that offloads the majority of what you're doing, and then either makes it easier for yourself if you're a solopreneur, or offloads a lot of the work so that then you can have the support of a VA if that's the position that you're in, or you do have a team, it's going to amplify everything that you're doing. So I definitely like, and we'll go more into detail about what we're using, and tomorrow we'll share examples. So we have people commenting on the lead magnet thread of their businesses. We're going to give you guys some concepts that you can use and talk more in depth about what this is. But today we just wanted to show you, like, kind of open your mind a little to what's possible and like why this works, and why it's called a motherfucking money portal.
Got some comments. Kate says, this is amazing. Absolutely will work for me. Theo says, I'm here listening. Great info. It's true that so many owners do not see the importance of strategic marketing. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So I think we're good for today. So homework is we're going to be posting a thread with the quiz vault so that you guys can actually experience some of the things that we were talking about today and what we'll be going more into depth with tomorrow. And then if you want that free lead magnet idea, post in it's in the pinned post, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it actually says like get your lead magnet idea. So if you want to be a part of that and you want us to come up with something for you, just post your business information as we requested in the post. Follow the directions, ladies, and you will get a lead magnet idea from us that hopefully you can take to the bank. That is
Yeah.
our goal.
And then just one last thing too, if you're like in a position where you're like, oh, I'm not creative, I don't have capacity to do this, I don't know what to put together, don't worry, because we're going to invite you to something on Friday where we're going to do a lot of that for you so that all you literally have to do is show up. That's why it's so important to get information from people who can do that for you. We're both manifesting generators, so we're super in our creative vibes, but we're also implementers in the marketing space. So we're going to show you how to encapsulate that energy and turn it into cash. And it's going to be so cool. So if you're in a place where you're like overwhelmed by the information, don't worry, you can be fully supported in the process. And we're going to show you how.
Awesome.
Cool. Well,
all right, ladies. We will see you tomorrow at the same time. So 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make it live, the replays will be in the group for as long as we keep the group open, which will probably be about a couple of weeks. So you'll have time to catch up and see everything that we are putting out there. So
cool.
Thank you for showing up.
See you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, Thea. Thank you, Kate.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Oh.